I would like to sleep with you.
Eli Loker, Ria Torres. He's harmless. Just always speaks the truth about what's on his mind. What do you call it again?
Radical honesty.
Well, what happens when you do nothing but tell the truth, and that the unadulterated, unexpected, and unrequested truth, like even when people don't want to hear it.
Yeah, people have trouble accepting when females are the sexual aggressors. You know, actually, it's like the bonobo chimp.
Yeah, not now, Loker, not now.
Loker's radical honesty was a choice.
Does your radical honesty pledge mean you have to say everything you think?
It's the only way to be truly honest.
Let's turn it off while we're working, shall we?
They made up the idea of radical honesty. This idea that it's essential that you say everything that comes through your mind.
And it's insane, because I tried to do it for a week. And it's a flawed system as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, look at that. That's what we call a macro expression. She may as well stick her tongue down his throat.
That's why Loker doesn't have a girlfriend. Would you really want to have a spouse who told you it ever came to their mind without your asking them?
I've never been with a Latina woman.
Don't push it.
You know, I think you have to be asked before you volunteer such information. I would never want to spend any time with anyone like that. Cross-cultural research has shown that the men basically hit on everything that moves. They're of a certain age, and the women decide whether they have any interest. And they signal that to a man in a number of ways. One is by grooming.
I know that must sound foolish or pretentious or both, but there it is.
The only one I had ever heard of, I knew before the show, which was playing with the hair.
If she rearranges her hair, that's a good sign. She looks over at you and then looks away and smiles. That's a good sign. If she doesn't do either, move on.
I recently did an interview with a magazine about how this knowledge about the face and expressions of emotion and microexpressions might be useful in relationships. And this magazine in particular was trying to give tips for men. It's not like there's a facial expression so much that says, I'm interested or not, but it's whether you get signs that fit with what the person is saying.
With the smile, there. That's classic Action Unit 6. She's so into me.
Men can misinterpret based on their own wishes and hopes. All of us are influenced by our own emotions. If you see a really hot woman, do you want to be rejected? No, you want her to be interested. So you're biased towards seeing interest when it isn't there.
Loker, I'm gonna let you in on one of the true rules of womanhood.
Cool.
If a guy's boring you, like you want to stick a fork in your eye, boring, a good lip lick can rattle him enough to change the conversation topic.
I've been asked, would I provide my services to a dating service? So you could run your stuff through and you could see, is that person really who they say they are?
The lies that we tell for social purposes, they have to be, we need them. We know they're tools, essentially. They get us through life a little faster and a little bit, a little unscathed.
Are they really single, not married? Have they really only had one sexual partner in the last year? I mean, there are lots of lies people tell for seduction.
Are you aware of those expressions like a twirl of the hair or a raise of an eyebrow?
No, it hasn't really affected me much in that sense. In the dating sense, no. Knowing all this stuff gets in the way of your life and gets in the way of your relationships, personal relationships, business relationships, everything. So it's a good thing to know, but it's also a good thing to forget about at the end of the day.
With my wife, I think only twice in 31 years did I ever say to her, I don't believe what you just said. She likes to believe that I can't tell. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to use the information. I can't turn it off unless I put blinders on. And when I teach people, there comes my wife. Marianne? Marianne, is that you?